Hey y'all, welcome back. The house is quiet for a moment. Tyler just got home from the fire station, and the mornings that he comes home from the fire station, the boys like for him to take them to school, the big boys. So he just stepped out the door with the two big boys, and he offered to take baby Cal with him so I could have just a minute by myself. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to shoot a video. Typically when I have a minute, mornings really are my favorite time of day. If I can be by myself for a minute. So I like to go out to the tunnel or go out to the greenhouse and just be for a little bit, let it be quiet. I don't get that opportunity a lot lately. So when I have that opportunity, I try to take advantage of it. But I thought it would also be a good opportunity to take you guys with me outside and just do a quick check of the greenhouse, check of the tunnel. Things in the tunnel are looking really good. I am feeling very energetic today. Baby Cal slept from, let's see, I think it was I put him in his crib at about 8 p.m. last night, and he didn't wake up until 3:30 this morning, which is huge for us. Generally, he's up every 2 to 3 hours. So fingers crossed that this is a new pattern he's starting. I don't know. I'm well aware that this may have been just a fluke thing, but if this is a new pattern, I'm all for it. We can stick with this pattern because I feel real good this morning. Tyler's off work today. My mom is actually going to come over for a little bit and help out with Cal so he and I can get some things done. I do have some exciting news, exciting for us. Something that I've been thinking about doing for a long time. I actually mentioned it very briefly mentioned it in a video from last summer about doing some on-farm events here. And I had really been putting it on the back burner just because that's scary. That's a scary thing to do, to put ourselves out there, invite people onto our farm, and basically charge them money to have a really good experience. So that's a scary thing to do. I also just felt like our farm wasn't quite ready in terms of the aesthetics of everything. And then my friend Jill from Whispering Willow Farm, you all know her. She came over recently and we kind of just had a heart to heart. I was just struggling. I was having a hard time with just feeling like I didn't have a lot of direction and didn't really know which way I was going. And anyways, we talked about it, and long story short, I was like, you know what, we're gonna do an on-farm event and I'm just gonna go for it. So we have our first on-farm event scheduled for May the 21st. So just in like a week and a half, which is really exciting and really terrifying at the same time. It is gonna be a girls' night out style. I have sold out. You guys, I sold 30 tickets to this event and it sold out within I think a week. I mean, it was huge. So that's awesome. I couldn't ask for more, obviously, but it's also really scary. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be girls' night out. We're having live music. It's all local. So everybody involved in the event is local because I wanted to really get the community involved and be able to partner with some other small businesses so we can all just help each other out. So I partnered with a really cool local nursery that's just right up the street. Her and her husband are gonna come out and they're gonna teach basically how to pot your own planter, like outdoor hanging planter. And then she's bringing all the stuff for everybody to be able to plant their own planter and take home. Like I said, we're gonna have live music. I've got a local charcuterie, I really hope I'm saying that right, charcuterie company coming out. They make really awesome spreads of really delicious food. And then I have a micro brewery coming. So he's bringing several different craft beverages that he has designed specifically for our girls' night out. It's really exciting. But that being said, we have a lot of work to do around here. My parents have been coming out helping me out. We have some really cool designs planned out to really spruce up the window greenhouse. It's all gonna be done out in the garden by the window greenhouse. We're stringing up a lot of lights and we're just getting everything looking pretty, and it's just gonna be a really good time. But my time is limited. Like I said, Tyler's taking the big boys to school, and as soon as he gets back home, I have a feeling Cal is gonna be ready to eat or whatever. So let's go out to the greenhouse. So one of the big kind of tasks we needed to get done in order to prepare for this girls' night out was get the pigs moved. So when we bought the pigs, the original plan was to rotationally graze them. We have not really been doing a good job of that just because we're new at it and we didn't know what all that would involve. As we're getting a little more into raising pigs, we're kind of understanding how to do that and the setup we need to do that. But anyways, pigs, you hear them right now. They think it's breakfast time, and it really is. I need to feed them. Pigs were out there by the window greenhouse. It was getting pretty stinky, and it really just wasn't very pretty. So what we have done, I'm going to turn you around some more here. What we have done is paddocked them off here within this field. We have some hog fencing around this whole field. I don't know how many acres this is, but it's quite a few. And basically Tyler has just run electric to keep them paddocked off, and we are going to be moving them every couple weeks or so. I don't know, we're kind of just playing it by ear and seeing how long it takes them to kind of work this ground and work through the paddock that they're in. Really, this is like the ideal setup for them because as it gets really hot here, there's so much shade, there's so much underbrush and shade, so they can really work through this underbrush and hopefully kill some of it, because eventually we'd like for this field to really be cleaned out and cleared out. So we're kind of letting them do some of that work for us, but it's also providing them a ton of shade. It also stays really wet, and here it's just low ground, so it stays really wet. So as it gets really hot this summer, it's just a really good ideal setup for them. My dad is currently building us a chicken tractor. So one of the kind of benefits of living on some land is that you can actually collect quite a bit of junk. Sometimes that's really stressful to me because I don't like to see a lot of piles of junk sitting around, but we do have kind of a designated junk pile way back there behind the pond, so I don't have to see it. And we had quite a bit of materials that he was able to take, and he's going to build us a mobile chicken tractor because unfortunately he actually built this years and years ago, and it's been great, but it's not mobile. It's very heavy and it's just not mobile, so we don't get to move the chickens a whole lot because it takes a lot of effort. It's like a several hour process. So he's building us something light and mobile, and what we're going to do is, this is where the pigs were. You can see Tyler's actually going to disc this up for me. We are going to plant probably some clover or some other kind of cover crop there, and we're actually going to let the chickens, once the cover crop grows, we're going to let the chickens kind of work that, and we'll just continuously move them around that. And then eventually I would like to see this planted with something. I don't know what yet. It'll just be a really cool process to see. So sometimes I don't remember what I've shown to Instagram and what I've shown to YouTube. But if you've already seen this, I apologize, but I can't remember. So what we've done here, we have been blessed with so many wood chips. It's been awesome. And I've been able to come out here and basically just wood chip this whole area. This is where the event is going to be. Our micro brewery guy, we're actually going to bring some wood chips out here. We're going to set him there. And we're actually going to hang some lights from that pine tree, make it look really pretty. Probably going to do some lights on this arch trellis because I don't quite have, I've got some Malabar spinach planted there, but it's obviously not going to be ready in time for the event. And then my dad also used from our scrap pile back there these giant metal poles he put into the ground. We have cemented them into the ground, but they are removable. I'll show you in a minute. And we are going to string lights from the very tip of this eave on the roof, and we're just going to string lights, so they'll be hung above everybody. Tables will be out here. We're going to measure today and see, make sure we have enough tables. Obviously I don't, or enough room I should say. Obviously I don't want people to feel too jam-packed in here. So these are removable. I'll show you guys. This is pretty cool. I'll keep them up unless, Tyler needs to get in here with a tractor or something. There's really no point in taking them down. But you can see basically what he did was he cemented a little pipe in the ground, and then the pole actually sits in that pipe. So that pipe's pretty deep in the ground to keep this thing sturdy. And then of course, if we take it out, we'll have to put some sort of cap on top of that so it doesn't fill with dirt and stuff. But it's pretty cool. He also thought to I'll show you this way. He put several holes in this pole. Woo! See if it'll focus. It goes up pretty high. And there's I think it's called like a eye ring, or I don't know, y'all. It's called something, but he's got that screwed in. That's where the string lights will go. But then there's several holes coming down so we can change the level of the lights if we feel like we need to. So just pretty cool. This is also on the to-do list, is to clean this out. It's actually not terrible. Disregard the dead plants because there are some dead ones in here that I have unfortunately neglected. Cucumbers need to go in the ground. Probably tomorrow I'll probably stick those in the ground. Those go in the tunnel. This is another succession of tomatoes, looking good. These are Grand Marshalls. They'll also go in the tunnel. And then these are just some sunflowers that I had the seeds for, so I decided to plant them. Oh, and then over here, I forgot about these guys. I started another succession of lettuce. Salanova lettuce will also go in the tunnel. I'll take you out to the tunnel here in a minute, out there, and show you guys the Salanova that's already growing out there. It looks really good. So this massive pile of wood chips will also be smoothed out this way. Unfortunately, this whole area here stays really, really wet. It's actually, you can't tell because it's so grown up, but it's really wet right now. We're trying to let it dry out. Tyler will come in here with the bush hog and clean it up for me. He just can't do it right now because it's so stinking wet. But he is gonna come in, push the rest of the wood chips here just to make it look a little cleaner. We're gonna get some more gravel. I think I need to check my budget. We need to get some more gravel in here. And what I want to do for the event, or what I am going to do for the event, I've got some Adirondack chairs. We'll put some, what are they called? Fire pits. We're going to put a couple fire pits out for the ladies to enjoy. Make our way out to the tunnel now. Show you guys what it's looking like out there. It feels really good right now. The weather is amazing right now. It's probably, I bet it's mid-60s right now. Not too much humidity, but here pretty soon, as the sun continues to come up, it's gonna be hot. It's been really hot the last few days, like 90 degrees. So there's really just not been much of a spring. We jumped right into summer. Obviously need to mow around here as well. It's just so much to do, not enough time to do it. Here we are, y'all. Looks so good. Check it out. These guys have taken off. I have some serious weeds. I've already got some serious weeds going on in this compost. I'm gonna try my best to stay on top of it. And really, it's not like this bed over here looks fine. There's really very few weeds. It's mainly this bed here and that bed. So if I can do my best to try to stay on top of that, we should knock that weed problem out. It's just finding the time to do it. So last week I told y'all we had flea beetle issue, and that has seemed to pretty much resolve. I'm noticing just a little bit of flea beetle damage, like right here. See that? See if it'll focus. That is flea beetle damage, and I bet I could probably find a flea beetle on here somewhere. Actually, oh, I don't know if you saw that, but he jumped right from there. Okay, so a few more flea beetles in here. I don't think it's gonna be anything detrimental. I do have some lacewing eggs around here somewhere. Let me remember where I put them. So I got several of these hanging on different plants. These are lacewing eggs. They'll hatch soon, and they should take care of the rest of this flea beetle problem. I've also sprayed some beneficial nematodes in here into the ground. That way, if I have any sort of like larva, flea beetle larva or anything like that, hopefully that'll take care of it. So I'm feeling pretty good about the tomato situation right now. I've got my row of big slicers, a couple of heirlooms, and then a hybrid in here. I've got my row of cherry tomatoes, one hybrid, well, they're both actually hybrids. So row of cherry tomatoes here, and then my row of hybrid indeterminates over there, the Grand Marshal. and they have all really taken off. I feel like when I first transplant anything, I'm always a little nervous, just because you never know. You don't know if, you know, rabbit's going to come in here and eat it, or it's going to succumb to pests or whatever. Obviously, if you have a nice, healthy, strong transplant, you should be good to go. With healthy soil, you should be good to go. But I don't know. You never know. There's always unknowns. But I feel like we're at that stage right now where I'm like, okay, this is going to work. This is going to be good. And a lot of that fear and apprehension at the beginning of the season is probably just because I'm still really new at this. I mean, I've been gardening and growing a home garden for quite a while now, but market gardening, this is only my second year doing this. So this last year was my first year with a tunnel. First year I really tried to sell produce and have a legitimate market garden. So still very new at this, still question myself and my abilities a lot, still question if I'm doing things the right way. Not that there's necessarily a right way to do any of it, but I feel good right now. I feel good in this moment. I feel like I'm gonna have a ton of tomatoes. So yeah, it's just good. I told you guys I'd come out and show you this Salanova too. Like I said, it did get up to like 100 degrees in here yesterday. And I did not come out and water. Now, my drip irrigation turns on every morning for an hour. But, you know, lettuce does not like the heat. And to keep it cool and to really grow it in the summer, a lot of times you have to overhead irrigate it. So I really should have come out here and watered it overhead, because the drip really probably isn't sufficient enough. But I had baby cow all by myself, and I was not going to bring him out here in 100-degree heat. So I just let it be. So I'm really pleased with the way it looks. But I've got Salanova all down. That is what my second succession is going to be that I have in the greenhouse right now. I'm also going to try out some Muir lettuce because I've heard it does really well in the heat. So I've got that on order from Johnny's. And when it comes in, I'll probably start a few of those and just test them out. Peppers are looking good. These are jalapeno. They're also, first half is jalapeno, and then moving down is a sweet Italian pepper. There's a yellow and a red variety moving down, and then over on the other end, I've got half a bed of some little lunchbox sweet peppers. They look good too. And then over here on this last bed, the half of the bed, it's going to be I'm going to plant those cucumbers that I showed you in the greenhouse. So those guys will also be trellised overhead by that electrical conduit. It's like perfect timing. Tyler is pulling down the driveway right now. I was able to come out and do all my checks, show you guys. Now we're going to get started for the day. Tyler's going to be doing a lot of bush hogging and mowing. I'm going to be doing, Boomer, you scared me. I'm going to be doing some garden work. I may try to get those cucumbers planted today. Of course, I'll be on baby duty until my mom gets here. But yeah, lots of work to get done today. Thank y'all for hanging with me for my checks this morning. It was a good morning. I'm going to harness all this energy I have from that extra sleep I got last night, and I'm going to get some work done today. We'll catch y'all next time.